Okay, so get this. Imagine, just imagine finding out that going through a major loss, like if you lost a loved one, could make your chances of, having a heart attack skyrocket by over 2,000%. But here's the kicker, within a single day.
Yeah, it's not just stress. It's more intense than that. It's life or death stuff. It really shows you how connected our minds and bodies are. Like they're not separate.
Yeah.
It's like, have you heard of broken heart syndrome?
Oh, yeah.
Where basically the emotional strain, it's so intense, it can actually seem like you're having a heart attack.
Yeah, it's wild. It's like your heart really is breaking.
Yeah.
And that's just, one example. We're diving deep into stress today. The kind of stress that, hits you all at once, but also the kind that just kind of simmers under the surface.
Right.
We're going to uncover how it impacts our bodies, sometimes in ways we don't even realize.
And the thing is, our bodies are actually designed to handle stress, but here's the thing. Only for short periods. It's like a built-in survival mechanism, like your own personal alarm system, right?
Yeah.
Think about it. You're walking in the woods and suddenly...
You see a bear.
A bear, exactly. Fight or flight, right?
Oh, yeah.
Instantly, your system is flooded with adrenaline.
Right.
And that's that fast-acting hormone that makes your heart race, your palms sweat.
Yeah.
Gives you a jolt of energy so you can either fight that bear or get the heck out of there.
All right. And it's like that roller coaster analogy from the talk we're diving into. The speaker was describing that feeling you get, the anticipation and the nerves as the roller coaster's going up that first big hill.
Right.
That's your body pumping full of adrenaline. It's like prepping you for the plunge.
Yeah. Yeah. And that rush can be beneficial, even if it's not, a life or death situation. It could be anything, a deadline, a tough workout, even a scary movie. It's all powered by that adrenaline surge.
Right.
But the problems start when the stress sticks around.
Yeah.
Okay. It becomes chronic.
Right.
And that's when cortisol comes in.
Cortisol.
The more long-lasting stress hormone.
So cortisol's like the marathon runner of stress hormones then.
You got it.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Cortisol, it's important too.
Oh, okay.
It's like your body's way of supplying you with energy when you're under stress for a long time, and make sure your system has enough fuel. But imagine running a marathon every single day.
Yeah, that's not good.
Eventually you'd break down.
For sure.
And that's kind of what happens with cortisol. When it's high all the time, it messes with your sleep, your mood, and even, get this, your immune system.
And that's what really got me about this talk, the link between being stressed out all the time and having a weaker immune system. It's like your body's too busy dealing with the stress to, fight off infections and stuff.
Exactly. It's like its defenses are down. And we're not even just talking about getting a cold here. The speaker actually suggests that this chronic stress and the cortisol that comes with it might even make autoimmune diseases more likely.
Autoimmune disease.
Yeah. And that's when your immune system, which is supposed to protect you, right, gets things confused.
Oh.
And it starts attacking your own body.
Wait, so my body is fighting itself. How does that even happen?
Okay, so think of your immune system like an army.
Right.
With all these different units that have specific jobs. There are these cells called, get this, T regulatory cells. They're like the peacekeepers.
Okay.
Their job is to stop other immune cells from attacking your own tissues.
So they're like the voice of reason, making sure everyone chills out.
Exactly. But chronic stress, it throws a wrench in the works. When those cortisol levels are up all the time, those peacekeepers, they don't work as well.
Oh.
And then your immune system, it starts mistaking your own cells for the enemy. And that can lead to a whole bunch of autoimmune diseases.
Okay, so that's both fascinating and kind of terrifying.
Yeah, and you know what's even wilder?
What's that?
All this stress we're talking about. It's not always coming from actual threats out there in the world.
You mean it's not all deadlines and bills and, what else is stressful traffic?
Well, yeah, those things too. But there's more.
Okay, there's more. What else is there?
So the talk brings up this idea of manufactured stress.
Manufactured stress.
Where we're basically stressing ourselves out.
Oh, no.
Even when there's no real danger,
Oh, so worrying about stuff that might never happen.
Exactly. Our minds can be tricky like that, cooking up these worst case scenarios.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And our bodies react as if there's a bear chasing us, even when there's not.
Right, like that roller coaster thing we were talking about?
Exactly.
Damn.
Remember that feeling you get going up that first hill?
Yeah, the anticipation.
That's your mind and body doing their thing. Even though the drop hasn't happened yet, your body's already reacting to it.
Wow. So we're pre-stressing ourselves.
Kind of. It's like we're wired to find things to worry about.
So that's a little, not great. But, okay, what can you actually do about it? You can't just, turn off your thoughts, right?
That's the empowering part. The talk emphasizes that recognizing this manufactured stress, that's the first step to taking control.
Okay, so being aware of it.
Yeah, exactly. You're not just along for the ride on this stress coaster, you know. You can choose to get off, metaphorically speaking.
I like that. Get off the stress roller coaster. So how do we actually do that?
Well, get this. The talk actually suggests introducing some stress into our lives.
Wait, what? More stress is the answer? Now I'm really lost.
Hold on, let me clarify. It's not about adding more stress, but rather understanding that there's good stress and bad stress.
Okay, there's good stress now.
Right. Think about things like intense workouts or, rock climbing.
Those don't exactly scream relaxation to me.
Exactly. But they are challenging and engaging, and most importantly, they end. You're pushing yourself, getting that adrenaline pumping, but it's all controlled.
So it's like giving your stress response a workout.
Precisely. You're training it to handle the real world stuff better.
Makes sense. And it's not just physical stuff, right?
Right. The talk also mentions things like working with your hands, gardening, dancing even.
Oh, interesting.
Anything that kind of pulls your focus in and you lose track of time,
It's like you're so focused on what you're doing, you forget to stress.
Yeah. And that shift in focus.
Yeah.
That's key. It's not about getting rid of stress completely.
Because let's be real, that's not going to happen.
Exactly. It's about managing it effectively and feeling in control again.
So riding the waves instead of letting them, crash all over us.
Exactly. And speaking of control, the talk goes into some cool techniques for managing your stress response in the moment.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Breathing. It sounds simple, but...
Oh, yeah. Breathing through your nose. I've heard of that.
Right. It's a game changer. When we're stressed, we take these short, quick breaths.
Yeah, we do.
And that just feeds the stress.
Yeah.
But if we slow down and breathe deeply through our noses...
we can actually calm our systems down.
Exactly.
It's like hitting the brakes on that runaway train in your head.
Right. It's pretty powerful stuff.
Yeah.
And, the talk also touched on some natural things that can help manage stress.
Yeah. Wasn't there something about ashwagandha?
Right. Ashwagandha. It's been getting a lot of buzz lately.
Yeah, I've heard the name, but no idea what it actually is.
It's called an adaptogen. And basically, it helps your body, adapt to stress so you're more resilient, less affected by it.
So it's not about like making the stress disappear, but more about giving your body the tools to handle it better.
Exactly. And besides ashwagandha, the talk mentioned vitamin B1 and magnesium as being helpful too.
Oh, right. I think I remember that. Something about how they're involved in like nerves and energy, right?
Yeah, exactly. Both of those things can get out of whack when you're dealing with chronic stress.
Wow. So it's really like a whole body approach then. We've got exercise, mindfulness, breathing techniques, even what we eat.
It's about connecting all the dots.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Oh.
Oh, there was one more thing that caught my ear, something we haven't really gotten into yet. Acupressure.
Oh, right. I was wondering about that when I heard it mentioned. Is that like acupuncture without the needles?
You got it. Instead of needles, you use your fingers to apply pressure to specific points on your body.
Okay, and these points, they're connected to what? Energy pathways or something?
That's the idea. It's thought that stimulating these points can help unblock things and restore balance in your system.
Interesting. So how does that tie into stress then?
Well, some people believe that acupressure can actually help to calm down the nervous system.
Really? Just by pressing on certain points?
That's what they say. It can supposedly reduce anxiety, even help you sleep better.
Huh. That's pretty wild. I'm kind of needle phobic, so acupressure sounds way more approachable.
And the best part is you can learn to do it yourself.
No kidding. So I don't have to go to like a spa or anything?
Not unless you want to. There are tons of resources out there, books, websites, even apps that can teach you all about it. It's easy to incorporate into your routine.
That's awesome. It's like having a stress-busting superpower right in your own hands.
Exactly. And you know what? It all circles back to what we were saying before, taking control of your stress response.
Right. It's not about becoming immune to stress, because that's just not realistic.
Totally. It's about having a toolbox full of strategies that work for you.
So whether it's ashwagandha or acupressure or just taking a few deep breaths, the key is to find what helps you feel your best.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Stress is a part of life, but it doesn't have to control your life.
Well said. And on that note, we're going to wrap things up here. But remember, this is a journey, not a destination, right?
Absolutely. Keep exploring, keep learning, keep discovering what works for you.
Because you deserve to live a life where you're in the driver's seat.
That's right. You've got this.
Thanks for joining us for another deep dive, everyone.